Bet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
Welcome back to StarSeries I-League Season 4. We are here with another elimination match between TyLoo and Renegades have just taken the map of TyLoo in a fairly dominating fashion. Standout performances from pretty much everybody over on their side. I don't think there was a weak link, and going into their map choice of Cobble, it's a scary time for TyLoo.
Yeah, no, Tom, I'm not feeling this one now. I mean, I thought maybe we'd see all three maps come in, I'll be honest with you. And your prediction of a 2-0 for TyLoo is out the window. But you could still be right. Oh, you made a big deal about how I am captain prediction. And it's like, no, you're not. Tom, if you want to be real about it. But here we go.
At least I'm not a fake member of the boys.
I'm about as real a boy as a you
have a TyLoo jersey at home.
That just is a lie. I have like part of the Australian flag.
I've heard you say China #1 at least like 8 times today.
Okay, yeah, no, that's that. I mean, people seem to think I was lying when I said that someone from China hacked my emails and my PayPal. It's true.
Oh, no, that was a lie too. It was all fictional.
I wish it was a lie. It was such a pain having to change everything.
It was actually me.
Was it you? Mm. Well, here we go anyway, Tom.
I just sent your money to China. I didn't actually want it.
How very kind of you. Thank you, Tom. But second map, Renegades. They're up 1-0 in this series. They just managed to take TyLoo's map pick of Mirage out from underneath them. I can speak a little bit about Renegades, and then you can tell me a little bit about TyLoo. What went right, what went wrong. Whew, that's hard to say. For Renegades, Jacob was just on point, on a tear. There's no denying it. JKS really stepped up as well. Nifty was given a lot of room to make the calls that he wanted. He felt like he could rely on his team. And ultimately, they just looked, I think, better, pound for pound. But heading into Cobble, I'm feeling good. Whenever we've seen these teams kind of play in the past, this has normally been the map that Renegades has taken. So the pressure is definitely going to be on for TyLoo here.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing I will say, though, is they did look strong on this map when they played up against Fnatic. Obviously, both of these teams have now beaten Fnatic, so it is not like that can really be used as much of a weight for anything. They went out of the tournament 0-3. It hasn't been a good tournament for them. I'm hoping they do come back stronger. But yeah, it's a map, again, that TyLoo are pretty happy to play, and the final map of Cash is one of their best maps as well. So I think if they can win this one, there's definitely an opening for them on Cash to take this, but it's just going to be very, very difficult for them from here on out. It's sort of like yesterday when they had sort of like a route set that was a lot easier, and then they get put into like okay, we lost the map. But there was some promising stuff from them. It was just they never really got any economy. They never really got to a point where they could string rounds together. And the only rounds we really saw them win was sort of 4 spies or crazy plays with pistols. It was a good showing, at least, that Buntet was on the board. The question is, can he continue to be on the board, and can somebody step up with him?
Well, we're into the pistol round, Tom, and Renegades. They've got over here towards B. Now, the scary statistic for me, I wasn't aware of. I said, that they've won a lot when they've met on this map. It's been every time. TyLoo have never beat Renegades on Cobble. Now would be the time, and that's a good start. Captain Mo wants to try and change that stat. It all falls to Nifty. And JKS has gone down. Nifty, the brains, now has to also show he's got the brawn, and 1v4. Trapped in a corner, no ammo in the CZ. Not where you want to be. That will be TyLoo picking themselves up the pistol round.
Yeah, decent start from them. Both Captain Mo and Bentet popping heads all the way along. And, well, the only man to net a frag will be Nifty. They're going to invest back into this one, of course. CZ's on the majority of players. You still have with the Deagle and then the P250, just so they can get a little bit of extra utility. Now, we did see, obviously, the pistol won by Renegades in the first map and then the bounce back from TyLoo. So we'll see if they can do something in a similar fashion. It was a very sort of sketchy start to the first map with either team winning 4 spies. So I'm definitely not counting them out just yet. It's going to be a little bit of a sneaky start from the T side. They hide towards the back just so that anybody spotting towards long won't be able to see them. However, the CT side are somewhat doing what we've seen from them quite a lot. When they have the rifles, when they have the range advantage, they like to just sit back towards the site. And that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Captain Mo over towards SWAT, peeking into mid will be Excurate. Now, Captain Mo is going to have a lot of people coming his way, and defending his teammate may be quite difficult here. The smoke will fall onto the door as they now look to just rush in towards this A site. Captain Mo with a lot of work to do. The scout will net a first. Captain Mo, well, actually, no, he gets both. Never mind. And it leaves JKS and Jacob, and a nice cleanup in the end. Captain Mo doing the majority of the work, and I think that was a fairly decent setup on the A site. As said, using the range to their advantage, not allowing those pistols to get anywhere near them, and now Renegades, they can't afford to buy.
No, they most certainly cannot. That's to be expected. No bomb plant. They lose that 4 spy. Don't do any damage really either. Which, as a matter of fact, I don't think they killed anyone. So, pretty devastating for them. They would have liked to have maybe taken something away from TyLoo. It's always good as well when you keep the buy clean, the anti-eco. Excurate. A bit of danger here as they start to rush towards him. Captain Mo in with the shooting gallery. Can he get the ace? Wouldn't that be great? Yes, he can. Ace in the 3rd round.
He's got 11 kills.
From Captain Mo. And he's looking to give Jacob a run for his money.
He's going to give Rubino a run for his money. Not Rubino.
I was
Chris
about
J.
to say, Rubino.
Oh, well, Rubino's a great player.
Yeah, famously, you know, 11 in 3 rounds is the statistic we think of.
Yeah, no, it was 13.
You could have said Flamey. That would have made sense.
It was a reference to this tournament, so it was actually Chris J. Either way, we are going to have a buy-up for the T side. Smoke on every single player.
Yeah.
We are going to have CT side still with an SMG, but a lot more utility and that AWP in play early on. Somebody takes a bit of a tag. Now, as I said, Jacob was very good on cobblestone yesterday when they had a victory on this map. Ustillo goes pushing, but will be left with a smoke blocking him up for the early portions. And then 8 going through. It doesn't actually do that much damage. Not going to be spotting too much out. All the T's just waiting over towards that A side of the map. So if there is any aggression out on B from the CT side, they could find out quite a bit of extra info. Smoke going to be lined up by Nifty over towards that door just to allow the cross not to come in. And already Excurate is going to find the opening. He has support as well. Captain Mo a little bit more passive. Flashbang will leave him blind for a second. I think that was actually a team flash. Nifty pushes in and just rips his head off. Already bringing it back to a 4 versus 4. They are going to be able to cross to the site, and Nifty is taking this round into his own hands. Somebody in a pretty decent position, though. DD to look to run back into the site. However, now it becomes a very difficult scenario indeed. The CT side don't have a huge amount of money. They've got enough left that they could buy into the next round anyway. In fact, they'd be okay. It would just be Excurate who sort of needs to save. But they're going into this. They're trying to push back in. DD Excurate actually find 2 quick kills, leaving Ustillo with a lot of work left to do. However, him and Azza combined to leave it on to just Excurate. He's at least making things very costly, but he shouldn't be able to win this one. Azza not going to hit the initial shots, but eventually will be there to trade. AWP saved. Renegades are on the board, but there will be a buy coming back in from TyLoo.
Yeah, with only 1 player surviving for Renegades, the buy here isn't going to be too great. It's going to be 2 Galils, UMP up for JKS, and really hoping this AWP on Nifty can hammer it home for them. Looking like we're going to see an early peek come out of Nifty over towards mid. TyLoo playing more passively down in middle. Xcure just going to be holding it with the Incendiary. Renegades looking to try and get a man down into drop as they smoke off mid. JKS will be allowed to sneak on in. He's going to have somebody to worry about. Or the Captain Mo, who does now get boosted up. He goes ahead and leaves mid. In the meantime, Pete coming in from Azza over here in drop. Didi's there. Gonna go peeking into it. The timing. Azza going to keep progressing forward. You still has Phantom. Now the wrap comes in towards this A bomb site. The pressure's on for Xcure and Captain Mo as players start to arrive. JKS going to get rid of Mo. It all falls good to Xcure. He's in with two. Hiding behind SWAT. Desperately trying to buy time for the rotations, and he has. Buntet going to get rid of JKS. Now it's Nifty and Jacob. Nifty going to tack down one. No scope out onto the other. Oh, Nifty! A second for him, and that was fantastic. Oh, you love this man. Tom, that was a spectacle. Renegades, they're in with a second round. And the fact that Nifty's landing shots like that is just unreal.
No, he's pretty much single-handedly won them both rounds that they have on the board. Quick entries into the site in the previous with the AK, and then that second shot with the AWP was absolutely disgusting. 3-2, CT side can only invest into some pistols. And again, it's one of those scenarios where I feel like TyLoo have slightly over-invested here. Like, if they could have got, it'll be pretty close at least to an AWP onto Xcure in the next round, but Didi's brought down to 1100, Captain Mo's down to 1200, and even with the max loss bonus, they're not going to have that much money. They're doing damage at least. Didi will manage to pick up another kill. They're trying to make things costly. Captain Mo with the Deagle's been excellent so far, but can't get anything done, and eventually the trades will be in. Azza with 3. And actually, since the first 3 rounds, Captain Mo's yet to actually get a kill. And yeah, now we get this sort of sketchy buy coming in from them. He'll have a couple of Famises, or Captain Mo may go for something a little bit different. Actually, a Mag 7. I can get behind that. But it is more of a bare bones buy. They don't have a kit. They don't have any incendiaries. So retaking is going to be very difficult indeed. And actually slowing a lot of the pushes over towards that plat position could be much more difficult than normal. Captain Mo's going to take up what I will call the snacks position. Just up close with the mag. There will be multiple players around that angle, so maybe he can look to get himself back on the board. Currently 11-3 still, though.
Here he is, in with 1. That's it. No trade from Xcure as he actually misses the shot. Just has to retreat. I was hoping we would have seen some sort of insane Mag 7 play, but not meant to be. Renegades have taken control of long. Indeed, he has rotated around. Buntet waits and connector. This leaves somebody alone inside of B. Renegade's going to go ahead and flash TyLoo's AWP away. Oh, JKS, you hate to see it, going to smoke himself off at long. And on the back of that, they start to rotate over here toward B. Now, Buntet, he's left connector, he's rejoined up with somebody, and they're going to look to try and hold down this B-bomb site together. Somebody was key in yesterday's games to TyLoo's success, but today, he has been fairly quiet. Buntet, meanwhile, certainly has not. And now the two of them have to try and hold down the fort as the push comes in. 4 players starting to make their way into this site. Rotation already coming in from Xcure. The AWP's going to be here to help out. Somebody goes down. Azza's in with a second. Wants to try and take a third. Another missed shot from Xcure. It forces him back into the arms of Nifty. And it's Didi on this flank. He doesn't last long. Renegades, they're going to be in with a 4th round.
Yeah, and this is a much sort of better sign, I would say, for Renegades, that this is a map where, at least for me, I think Azza is always one of the more integral players, and he is finding openings. Him and Nifty have done a great job so far. Jacob hasn't really needed to do too much, which is always promising when he has been the sort of star of the show throughout this tournament for them. And once again, it's going to be back to pistols for TyLoo. That round that was so close with the AWP shots from Nifty coming back to bite them. If they've managed to just kill him off, it really could be a very different scenario right now. Either way, as said, pistols, majority of them over towards this B side of the map. Looking like they're going to go for a little bit of aggression. Excurate. Just be careful. He's got multiple players holding the angle. Jacob and Ustillo. Jacob had a wonderful time yesterday with JW sort of handing him kills running towards that plat. I'm hoping that we won't see the same thing from TyLoo. And you can already see just how much of a sort of B-heavy presence they have at the moment. Captain Mo going to be the only one here, but he's playing right on the edge of the door, just getting ready for this rotation. Actually, even though they've spotted a couple of players, the T's are still looking to try and push in here. So, Renegades, they may be about to hit the stack.
Yeah, these pistols up close. It's somebody and Execute to start to do the initial damage. They're going to keep just churning through the pistol machine. Captain Mo is in with another. It all falls down to Nifty once again. 1 versus Captain Mo, and Nifty gets it done. So many times they've had to rely on him now in these rounds to make a play. And that is going to be a 5th for Renegades, but it's by the skin of their teeth.
That's not a good round for Renegades by any stretch of the imagination. That was just some pistols invested into to do some damage. That's exactly what they did for TyLoo. The thing is now they actually have to win a round for that to actually mean anything. And they've come back in with a much more solid buy than we've seen previously in the last few rounds. They've got that AWP. It's got utility behind it. They have a couple of kits and incendiaries on every single player other than the AWPer. So if TyLoo are going to make a stand, now is where it needs to be made. Jacob again. Early aggression over towards that plat, but going to stay fairly passive. And the T's in the meantime, again, they're just waiting. There's been a lot of aggression coming out from TyLoo, so no real surprise. But they are going to be a little bit more patient. This round, not really too much of an overface. The AWP just going to be sat back towards the door on A, allowing a quick rotation. We will see the smokes thrown in. Excurate trying to hit the shot through the smoke, but won't find anything as of yet. JKS looking tempted to try and sneak through. It's actually just going to go pushing all the way up. They don't know he's here. He's managed to get quite far forward now, and this could be the perfect flank. He even spots out 1, 2 quick kills come in. Captain Mo will be able to trade 1 back. Again in the back lines, another kill comes in for somebody and Jacob. A lot of work for Captain Mo here, but the main push is going to be on the other side of the map. Somebody, he's found his 2nd kill of the round. He's fighting off against Ustillo, the man with the bomb. Captain Mo picks up the kill, but this 1v1 on the site is going to be the most crucial moment of all. If Ustillo can get the kill, he has a chance to win this. He's going to fall back to the chicken coop. Getting back to the site now is not going to be easy. Captain Mo is now in position. Both players wrapping around, but Ustillo gets the first, spots the second, and finds it as well. Never should have got away with that. He was surrounded, but fires off from all angles, and Renegades, they have another Clutchmeister on the server.
Renegades look scary, Tom. They are dominating TyLoo in clutch situations, and it shows that the rounds come close, but then it seems to be a similar case to what we've seen TyLoo a few times, where they get a bit overzealous in the clutches.
But the thing, I don't actually think they played that one wrong at all. I think
that was well played.
That was well played. It was just that Ustillo played incredibly well to find both kills and predict where the second player was going to be. Like that's incredible that he just instantly swings around and finds him. So, yeah, that one I actually don't have any problem with the way that it was played. Captain Mo, he actually invested into a solitary rifle there. On the T side, I don't mind that so much, but on the CT side, utility is so important, and having even one player without certain nades, maybe without a kit, it's a little bit interesting. They are going to juggle it round, and they do have max loss bonus, so there's a chance he can still get a rifle into the next round anyway, but I mean, I'm not a massive fan of this. Bentet, however, well, let's see if he can change my mind. He's already picked up 1.
Yeah, push going to continue. DD does go down, but Bentet still has that rifle. As is going to be tagged down in mid, but now the peek comes out from Bentet. He's the man who was to make a difference, and he's going to fool somebody. Left 1 versus 4. Jacob is going to go down. Whoop, how is he still alive? Somebody does get into the corner, and if this comes back to punish Renegades, you'd feel devastated. JKS has his number, though. Gets him on the re-peek, and Renegades are going to be in with a 7th round. TyLoo now able to buy on up. as you pointed out in the previous round, though, Tom, the consequences of that is that Captain Mo here is very limited in utility.
Yeah.
In the sense he has none. It's not even like he's a little bit behind. He's
limited.
zero.
Limited is a bit of an understatement. But yeah, we are going to have the buyback in. Double AWP setup. Somebody picking up the secondary. I do find it interesting that Captain Mo used to be the primary AWPer and now doesn't even seem to be second on the sheet. Maybe that's his decision. Who knows?
I think he is second. I just think somebody maybe feels like...
he's only picked it up on train. Other than that, somebody has picked up on every other map we've watched.
That's true. I mean, it is odd. But anyway, Tom, look at this. We can debate AWPs all day. I'll tell you a man who doesn't have an AWP, who should have one, or normally does have one rather, it's Nifty. But that's because he's made his way up mid aggressively early on. Look at how much ground he's gained. There are 3 players for TyLoo over here on A. Captain Mo's going to go aggressive, peeking down into mid, and this is a little bit risky. Somebody's about to take this peek out over here. Nifty now pounces on this A-bomb site. He's taken down 2. Now the rotations come in from the rest of Renegades. It's Captain Mo who's going to have to step up. He does find Nifty. And now they've paused Captain Mo. That's it for him. Somebody's going to go down over a B. Buntet's dropped the bomb, and this round is back and forth. The flank from Jacob could make all the difference here. You still are wrapping round through mid. They're going to try and peek into this at the same time. Buntet, so many angles to clear. The man flanking round. He knows that Ustill is there, but Ustill is just grabbing his attention. He's going to sneak in. Buntet's going to win the fight now. It's a one-on-one. Flashes out to Jacob, but Jacob gets it done. And Renegades, they are going to go ahead and get themselves an eighth round. It comes down to the wire once again. Tom's crunching the numbers. How many of these have come down to one-on-one scenarios, Tom?
There's 4 rounds now. And there's a bit... Oh, no, it might be more. 1, 2...
I thought it was 5.
3, 4... Yeah, 5. 5 1v1s that have been won by Renegades at the moment. And, yeah, it's just got to be one of those positions that it's frustrating for TyLoo, because that is an awful lot of rounds that could have gone back the other way. However, well, you have to say it's a skill in itself. Nice attempt from Buntet. And the nades are going to absolutely ruin Ustill. He actually gets burnt alive at the beginning of the round. The weaponry not quite there for the CT side, but they have forced things up. Leaving one man alone, Captain Mo over on A, with nobody there beside him. Now, it does mean that the T side, although they've won a lot of rounds, their money isn't anything too crazy. They'll have enough to buy into the next round, but if TyLoo can finally streak something together, they do have a chance. Now, it has been 8 rounds in a row for Renegades, so sort of living on a prayer at this point, if you are a TyLoo fan. Now, we've got rotation coming in towards this A site. 2 players going to be sat right back. Now, Xkira actually only has a UMP, so the range is not going to be there for him. However, Captain Mo is looking to try and take the spot. Push now beginning. They've got the split as well, as Azza will be looking to try and hold rotations up towards drop. That's normally what his drop is. But here we go. Push coming in.
Yeah, rotation started to come around, but Renegades, they're already halfway there. Jacob, first to fall. Somebody going to rain death in as well. JKS, now it all falls to him. Has to push through. Nifty only gets 1. There's 14 seconds. JKS, he's now found 2. He might make this possible. Captain Mo's able to get the trade. Once again, though, you start sweating. TyLoo, in these rounds where they have such crazy man advantages, they do love going for the aggression. And so I pointed out in that clutch versus Ustill, and we kind of agreed that that one was just well played by him. But since then, there is no denying in a lot of these rounds, some unwarranted aggression from TyLoo on this CT side that alone was terrifying enough. And interesting enough, loot bet still looks like that support is going to be going the way of TyLoo.
Either way, the damage has been done. Renegades looking like they're just going to go for a much faster play. Although the utility this time is there for the CT side. Looking to try and slow this push, force them back. And they've already got a pistol in this round. in the next round, they won't have too much. And this could be a way back into the game. As said, though, the same goes the other way. TyLoo, if they lose this round, they're going to be reset. They'll have no money, which they have sort of struggled with already, but they've at least had the loss bonus maximum where they can buy sort of every other round. They lose this one, and that luxury is gone. Captain Mo, once again, playing up close. Has Excurate somewhat spotting over towards this A side of the map, but still yet to really see any real decision made by Renegades just yet. They'll go back towards the thing. Yes, they're getting down to that 40-second marker. There's still quite a few smokes for the CT side to throw. One of them is on somebody. He's actually looking towards drop at the moment, and now the sneaky push is coming in. 30 seconds left on the clock. Didi with a flashbang in hand, throws it to try and counter. Sprays down, only manages one as Azza doubles down. However, it's still a man advantage at the moment. 20 seconds left on the clock. They need to make their way into this site. JKS will be left blind. Ustillo, I don't think he's been spotted yet. He'll take one down, leaving it down to just 12 seconds left. But the bomb is going to be planted. Captain Mo left alone, and JKS once again steps up. Reset for TyLoo. 9-4. The streak ends at 1 round. And Renegades are straight back onto winning again.
Once again, it's a round where Renegades needed a monstrous play to do it. That round, they get a savage one, but still, a 9th for Renegades, Tom. Another massive man advantage going the way of TyLoo that gets taken back. And now it's a force buy into this round. Going to be CZs, Deagles, UMPs, what they can muster together.
Yeah, we've seen them come very close in a lot of these rounds, even with the pistols. Captain Mo in the 1v1 versus Nifty that he lost. And they really do need to get something here. Otherwise, they'll be struggling over on that T side. Even a pistol win coming out from Renegades could be enough to end this series in its tracks. Pop flash will be into middle. There is a man up close in the smoke already. JKS will end the life of Mo as he attempts to go aggressive. He has been one of the only sort of, well, lights for TyLoo. 19 and 10, top of the whole server at the moment. The next player on his team with only 9 kills, so seemingly not enough at this point. Going to be pushing in towards somebody. Very good with that CZ, but he's going to be going down nonetheless. And the push now coming into the site. Ustillo finds one while blind. Didi at least be able to get a single trade. But surely there's not much more. Second kill comes in, but eventually he falls, and unless Buntek can do it again, I think this round is over.
Oh, Buntek with the CZ though. Oh, okay, he lands the dink, but then runs out of ammo. One more bullet, all it would have took, and then things get really interesting. A 10th round now for Renegades. There's no money for them to buy up on the side of TyLoo. It will be a force into the last round of the half. Investing in what they can. Mag 7 up for Captain Mo. As for Renegades, they have everything they could possibly need. Nifty hasn't even really needed that AWP in spite of being on good form with it. The rifles have provided for them. Looks like they're going to go boosting a man up at somebody. Here's the shots raining in. He's going to go pushing through, but Ustillo finds him. He's so deep. There's no one there to trade. And well, now JKS is out in mid. Extra going to go peeking into it. Tag down low. Renegades have got so much momentum behind them, Tom. They look so confident. The boys right now are not backing down from any of these fights. Captain Mo. Oh, going to get beheaded. JKS. He has helped open up A. Just Excurate here. He's tagged so incredibly low, and he knows where JKS is. Or has at least a rough idea. He's going to start to push down. Takes the fight close with the CZ. He's able to win it out. So JKS does fall. But the rest of Renegades now making their way in towards A. DD did good here with the UMP in the previous round. This time he only gets one. Leaving it on Buntek. Make that just Excurate. 1 versus 3. That stolen AK in hand. He's dropped the bomb. Has done damage. Ammo's low. And Jacob's able to finish him. An 11th round for Renegades. An 11-4 half. And a pistol around here makes all the difference in the world for TyLoo now.
Yeah, a very, very strong performance coming out from Renegades. A team performance at that. There hasn't been one sort of overwhelming factor. I think JKS has had a very, very good half. And in fact, the man who had to sort of drag them through a lot of the rounds in the previous map is actually barely even there. Like, Jacob hasn't had to do anything. It's been just a great performance from Renegades. A lot of very close rounds. A lot of 1v1s lost by TyLoo. But at the same time, the scoreline 11-4. Going into that pistol round, a crucial one at that. And if TyLoo don't manage to bounce back here, close to that tournament elimination.
Someone just team knifed Buntet a little bit, which is never good, but that's fine. Early on, they make their way over here towards B. Now, Renegades, they went for the early peek into mid from Nifty. Didn't spot anything, and usually that is a sign that there is a B place. They've stacked 4 players over towards that B bomb site. TyLoo just grouped up in mid. It's going to be an explosive play out towards A. You have the one smoke on Excurate to go down for Connector. Flash goes in, rotation's already here. Now the smoke goes down. JKS does peek before it plumes, but he isn't able to get much done. Somebody's going to go aggressive here, but 2 players have already managed to sneak by him, and they haven't cleared out Nifty. Now Nifty pounces out. It's all DD left, and Nifty finds him 2 frags for the AWPA/IGL of Renegades as he cements that pistol round for them. 12-4, and things get dire for TyLoo. They need this map to take us through to the next. And right now, with a massive 8-round deficit, it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, the only silver lining is that they have been pretty good in these anti-eco rounds. They're going to need to pull it off once again. Already, Captain Mo looking for the opener with the dig, but well, gets a little pitter-patter of bullets. Doesn't really take any damage, but we see somebody looking to try and find a gap around the edge of the smoke. Not really going to be anything there for him. Only one man holding drop. It of course is Azza. It's pretty much where he lives for the entirety of the map. That nade does catastrophic damage over onto the T side. Now they're going to go running in, just looking to take that drop control. Ustillo playing at range. And this is well set up, in fact. Only really Azza up close. Everybody else just watching from a distance as the setup does come in towards this B site. Ustillo in the corner, or sorry, Jacob in the corner, will just be sat there waiting for them to push in. Takes a lot of damage, does get traded out, but they've got to remove Ustillo. Damage being done, but then comes JKS with the MP9, 13-4. Now TyLoo have that sort of awkward position where they're so far down there'll be a temptation to force, but if they want to get a buy over on this T side, they have to just take the eco.
You imagine this is going to be a guaranteed 14th round unless something does go disastrously wrong for Renegades. Scariest thing is right now is that they have so much confidence. They're just brimming with it. And this is a team you cannot let get confident. JKS going to be holding close to mid here. He does actually run the risk of going down if they push in. So smoke goes down. He's going to try and hold it. He has already been tagged. Has support from Nifty and JKS. He somehow stays alive, 3 HP. They would have loved to have taken him down, even if it was just some damage inflicted to Renegades' economy. But now the buy comes in. TyLoo, 10 rounds behind Renegades. It would be a monstrous comeback, but we've seen bigger. Nothing is impossible. Now TyLoo are over on the T side. We know that they do fare fairly well, actually, on their T side. So let's see how this one goes for them. Over in mid initially. Everyone here for TyLoo. Nifty looking like he might want to try peeking out long. It is a dangerous game. 4 players here right now for TyLoo. Nifty. Been spotted. Doesn't have a smoke to drop. He does have a teammate coming his way to help out. And he's been able to find Captain Mo. The Molotov denies any possibility of a trade. JKS goes down, but Azza able to keep things in favor of Renegades. Nifty They spot him out along. DD finds it. They're going to keep charging in. Rotations coming around from Jacob. DD spots Azza. Going aggressive down in mid, so they get the information that a man could be in the back line. DD's going to finally get rid of him. Jacob, he's not ready to let this round elude them just yet. Finally goes down. And now it's Ustillo. 1 versus 2. Bomb planted is going to break the vent. They know where he is. Peak comes out and Xcurate's able to find the head. So TyLoo, they're in with a 5th. And that's the first step to paving the path to this comeback.
Yeah, a long, long road ahead. And well, that's only the 2nd buy round they've managed to win this entire game. So it really does show how dominant in the buy rounds it has been for Renegades. Now they're straight back in with the buy anyway. AWP onto Nifty. SMG onto Jacob. A little bit less money than everybody else. And the rifles will continue. Nifty looking to go for that aggressive peek in mid. Just looking over the smoke, but won't be able to find anything just yet. The majority of the Ts are over towards that B site. Waiting for a little bit of a boost just in case anybody does go up drop. CT side looking to go for a little bit of aggression of their own. We see them sat over towards Plat. Somebody just going to be waiting in the corner, watching in case there is any further aggression. And there's the deep smoke actually thrown by the CT side. Somebody had the bomb, so decides to get out of there. And instead, they're going to utilize this aggression from the CT side to allow them to take over drop instead.
Yeah, but first man to find a frag. They keep progressing forward. Flash goes out. Now the push comes in. Az is able to go ahead and get himself one, but that should be it. Somebody finds him. Trade comes out from JKS. Xcurate going to be in with one more. Nifty tries to do his best, but it's his flank from Ustillo. He's pulled it back to a one-on-one, and we've seen him win these. It's all on Captain Mo to keep the dream alive for TyLoo, and Ustillo back against him. Captain Mo locks in that 6th round. Wasn't able to save the AWP, but a buy still can come in. It's not going to be great with only one player surviving. Going to have to see Captain Mo drop an AK over. Somebody likely going to be taking the hit, buys himself a Galil.
They're actually going to force into this on the CT side. Well, they got 2-round loss bonus in the next anyway, but clearly deciding they want to get that AWP up on Nifty, and I suppose they do have plenty of rounds to play with, so they're just going to go and make sure that they get the safer buy in the next. However, it gives a chance for TyLoo to make up some money themselves, if they win this round, of course. They could potentially have 2 cleaner rounds rather than just 1. It is T-side, not with a very strong economy, so it's understandable. Going to be sneaking out through long. There's only going to be Nifty here. He's the one with the USP. Already doing quite a bit of damage. Tags DD down to just 11. The site will be taken. Captain Mo will dunk him out of the round. And now the rotation comes in from the remaining CT players. But in fact, yeah, I completely agree with this. Keep the pistols into the next. Don't allow Xcurate to farm off any cash with those Mac 10s. Or Mac 10. And have a chance to do some damage in the next round as well.
7-14. The dream not dead yet for TyLoo. And they need 7 rounds consecutively now to equalize out with the Renegades, deny them getting match point here on Cobblestone. Crucially as well for TyLoo, they're going to keep 5 players alive here, which now lets them start to build up some money. We saw on their CT side, they never really had the economy to get full utility. You know, it always came out of one-on-ones, which, you know, meant that even when they did win rounds out, they were always very limited in terms of what they could afford.
But they didn't really win any rounds. They won 1 buy round the whole CT half. They lost every 1v1.
Yeah. And we never really saw any saves come through either. So money was always an issue for them on their CT side. Now, chance to start to develop that early on. For Renegades, they saved the pistols and the armor. So they have got that going. For them, all the smoke's already landed down in B, and TyLoo just looking to play this one fast and loose. They're going to start to go on in. much like Kings of Leon. They're going to try and use somebody here on the entry.
Oh, I thought you were saying their pants are on fire.
Jacob has found damage. Nifty. Bit of a nuisance with that USP. Jacob's over to go ahead and get one. They want to try and deal with him because Jacob has been such a problem. Ustilio is going to go down. Jacob goes rushing through. Somebody falls. And Jacob still in the back line. They managed to get a leash back on him. An 8th round for TyLoo, but heavy damage done by the Renegades, boys.
Yeah, and that's good going into what will be the buy round they save for. AWP in play for Nifty. And plenty of utility behind it as well. He'll be the only man who actually has a kit, which could play a part later in the round. And the difference is down to just 6. So maybe TyLoo can streak this together. They'll need to, well, do not only what Renegades did, but actually improve on it as well. T-side once again taking a lot of early aggression over towards this B side of the map. A little bit of a push coming out from Nifty. And there is just Captain Mo waiting just in case there's some over-aggression from this CT side. A lot of presence over towards the Speedway. And the T's just being very, very patient here. They are expecting some aggression out from Renegades just because the last few rounds have been so quiet from them just sitting back on the sides. You can see them watching in case anybody boosts up drop. They've got players watching on plat as well, and the flank being held by Captain Mo. However, now they will look to gather up. Drop control, once again, going to be a big point of contention for the T side. They've enjoyed taking over this spot. Didi is going to be down here alone. Jacob and Azza looking to try and take the peek back. They flash in. The flashbang's absolutely perfect. Already Jacob nets one, and the trades will go in favor of this CT side. And the Molotovs are so well placed that actually the T's can't even push into the site now. They're just going to have to take this loss of men and go back towards A.
Yeah, Nifty resides here with the AWP. This is his playground. Rotation coming in from JKS, and Nifty going to reposition into the back of the site. Watching over the battlefield. He picks up the first. It's going to be tagged down low. Finished off by somebody, but only 10 seconds left. The bomb's down in the middle of the site. Captain Mo caught out in the open, and Renegades, they are going to go ahead and reach map and series point here. 15-8 on cobblestone. They're able to win versus TyLoo on Mirage in the previous. Of course, that was their map pick. And now they stand on the finish line, potentially about to eliminate TyLoo. The buy comes on in.
Is that their first tactical pause? I think it might be. Considering how many rounds they lost in the row, that's actually it's quite interesting. Doesn't seem like there was anything else said, so yeah. TyLoo, it's taken them to get to 15 for them to try and change something tactically. I suppose with the amount of 1v1s they were coming up against, maybe they were thinking, okay, we're bringing it close, we're just not winning the clutches. But at the same time, the call's been made. Overtime or bust. 7 rounds needed just to get them to that point. And it's a stellar buy up for Renegades as well. Plenty of utility, AWP, rifles on every single player. And we're looking at more of the same from the T side. Going over towards that B site initially. They'll be held out by a lot of the nades. 2 players over towards that A site, at least at the beginning, maybe thinking there's going to be somewhat of a change here, but it is going to be more of the same. Smokes being set up, and Ustilio's going to have a lot of work to do.
Yes, he does, and he gets discovered straight away. The boost from Jacob going to be dismantled, and that's it. The save call comes in straight away. Renegades don't want to get involved in this anymore. They're going to leave the B-bomb site, play things safe. The money on Jacob and Ustilio means that they can sustain a force into this next round. Drops can come in from Nifty. He could drop over a FAMAS or something if he's feeling generous. If they save these 3 rifles, there's no need for them to take the risk. TyLoo, they will get themselves a 9th, though. They're moving ever closer to the dream comeback, Tom. If there was a game today that I would love for me and you to get to see go 3 maps, it's this one. You know, we've seen Renegades, we've cast every single one of their games at this event. And for TyLoo, we've cast all but 1. You know, we know these teams.
Well, to be fair, I'm kind of glad that we didn't commentate the phase one because they just got obliterated. The casters who did get to do that game probably weren't here very long, so they got to relax, but didn't get to watch some decent Counter-Strike. I forgot to say Counter-Strike for a second. That's a good sign. Either way, 3-weapon save will give Renegades something, but of course it's the one and done. And in fact, the rest of the players looking like they're going to save some extra cash. The thing is, they won't be able to buy into the next round really anyway, so kind of could have gone for a force here, especially considering how dedicated to the AWP Nifty has been. But this is crucial. If TyLoo can win this round, they're really not that far away. 6 rounds currently the difference. They win this one, as said, there can't really be a buy into the next, or if they do, it's only going to be UMPs. Either way, quick push in. Leading the charge will be somebody. Finds one. JKS from above does damage. Execure actually going to burn down. But still, only the pistols remain now. The rifles were all stacked onto one site. Renegades unable to close this. Now the question is, can anything be done? Can Jacob or Ustillo steal away a weapon? You can see Ustillo is just holding around to see if there's anybody looking to try and exit through that avenue. The same can be said for Jacob, just basically holding the positions where the T's are going to want to lead the site. A couple of them quite low as well, so they're going to need to get fairly far away from that bomb. Maybe there's a chance for them to take a weapon here.
10 to 15, no. You're still going to be waiting. Does get DD. Execure is there to trade. 10 to 15, as I was saying. 5 rounds between TyLoo and Renegades, and the potential for overtime here on Cobble. Now, Renegades, they can't really field a buy. You imagine it's just going to be another pistol round. And the reason... I guess the reason for it in the previous round is that, you know, they don't think they need to take the risks. They're feeling comfortable. They've got confidence behind them. You know, the extra armor there wouldn't have made much of a difference. And it just means that into round 27, they are going to have everything that they could possibly need. They have so much money coming in into this next round. And I like that decision from them. JKS. Trying to peek over the top of the smoke. Hasn't been able to spot anything. There were 4 players there. Ooh. Nifty's really good with these pistols. He's going to be tagging Captain Mo down low. TyLoo now in with the rotation. Jacob's boosted. This could catch one of these players off guard. He's going to go pushing through. Does get tagged in the process. But Tech takes the peek, and while he does get dinked, now they boosted up Nifty. Somebody going to be mopping up the players inside the site, but Nifty, he's not ready to give this one up just yet. 1 versus 4. Execrate's going to get rid of him. Now 11 to 15. 4 rounds, Tom. 4 rounds for us to see overtime. That's all we need. But now things get tricky for TyLoo. The buy is going to be coming in from Renegades. And they took 2 saves essentially to get to this point. So they're going to have plenty of money.
Yeah, it's been a good resurgence from TyLoo. It was at one point a 10-round difference between these two sides. 14 and 4 was the scoreline. They brought it right back. The question is, are they going to fall one of these final hurdles? They've got the better buy of the 2, not by a huge margin. T-side have started to come alive. Somebody finding that opening, just pushing aggressive. He's going to get sprayed down and surely won't survive much longer. The nade bounces in and he just gets away with the skin of his teeth. 23 HP. In the meantime, we're seeing a bit of a boost over towards that A side of the map. JKS will be the only man on this site. 1 minute 10 on the clock, and with Nifty peeking in, that should give quite a bit more information that there's not really anybody here anymore. And in fact, they could just set him up as the lone defender already. Push beginning, though, from the T side. JKS, he needs to go big once again. Sprays a first, looks for the second, runs out of ammo and will fall, leaving the remaining players to look to rotate in. DD already catches off Azar. He is the man with a bomb and gives an opening. Nifty has found one, but he's getting tagged in return, leaving both remaining players low. They're going to try and give the angle over to the AWP from Renegades. But in the meantime, the bomb has been planted. This retake, well, it will come down to mistakes, and they're not going to be made. TyLoo will be taking themselves a 12th. Loss bonus starting to build up for Renegades once again, but it will only be 2,900. They'll be able to drop a couple of rifles and may want to risk it now. That's the question, though. Do you risk it for Renegades? Because they've sort of been in a position where they have been playing things very, very safe. They've been making sure they can get their 4 buys. But now it's getting a little bit too close for comfort.
It is scary, Tom. You know, I mean, I said I thought Renegades could take this. I want it to go to overtime. I'm going to be honest. I love good Counter-Strike. I love watching these two teams play. But 12 to 15. Now 3 rounds separating these two teams. And you're exactly right. The pressure's on. That's going to be demonstrated as the pause does come in for Renegades. They're having to make sure everyone's on the same page, trying to correct some of these errors that have been made. Don't want to get sloppy. They are physically on the finish line now. All that's left to do is cross it. And it's awkward. They are going to... I mean, I don't see them force buying up around this. I see them maybe partial buying down to 2,000 on the players that can afford it. And then investing into this next round. You're then going to be relying on Jacob and Nifty, which are two, you know, fantastic names to rely on to try and make a play with the weapons that were carried forward. I imagine you're just going to stack them both into a bomb site together and then let the pistols hold over on a different one. That's kind of how Renegades have enjoyed playing these partial rounds with weapons carried forward. Nifty currently top of the board at 4 Renegades. And in the server, 26 kills to his name. This is the sort of performance I wanted us to be seeing from him. But now the supporting cast around him in these last few rounds has fallen a little bit quiet, which I never like to see from the boys. Going to be honest with you there, Tom. Execute and Buntet going to try and take control of the drop down. TyLoo starting to push on in, and Azza, he's the first point of contact. Pete comes out. Execute going to win that. Now it's Nifty. He stands here alone. Such a hard task as players now start to wrap round. He's waiting for the peek from drop, but there's a man close. Somebody going to get rid of him. 3 versus 5 in the retake. Jacob hasn't even begun rotating around with the M4. And these players with the pistols just going to wait and see if they can catch players exiting. Not even a frag found for Renegades in that round. 13 to 15 now. And a flawless round from TyLoo. Unless someone dies here, in which case ignore that bit. But still, 2 rounds between them and Renegades. And that sweet, sweet overtime that they're so desperate to find.
And they're looking to just remove this extra weaponry. Jacob is actually going to manage to spray down a couple. Now, ultimately, this plays no part to the TyLoo economy. They've got so much cash at this point, but it does give an AWP over.
Yeah, that's pretty massive. And interesting, the one time I point out it's a flawless round, it looks like no one's going to die. There's actually only one man surviving, which is the dirtiest round we've seen in a while. But as I was saying, Top, 2 rounds between these two teams. We said that TyLoo, they had to win, I think it was 8 in a row to take it through to overtime. They've currently done
7.
5.
7.
Okay.
You were close.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, you know, Tom, it's a tricky one. They need 2 more rounds to reach overtime here in Cobble, which is the map pick of Renegades. The buy is going to be coming in. There was a time.
It was 10.
What?
10 rounds ahead.
Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you, Tom.
I knew what you were about to say.
Yeah.
We're that in sync.
We are. But here we go. A lot of it comes down to this round. I mean, if Renegades lose, they're reset into the next. Jacob and Nifty can actually scavenge some stuff for the rest of the team because they have a bit more money. But this is massive. TyLoo. It all comes down to this. They're stacking up outside of B. There's 4 players here for Renegades. It's a fairly heavy stack. The most we've seen them look to invest in this B bomb site before.
I think it's the right call as well. Just based off what has been going on in the last few rounds, TyLoo have really been dedicating themselves over towards this B site. Now, Ustillo has been playing in this corner quite often and has been caught out multiple times. It's been expected by the Ts. They are currently all gathering up outside once again. They've also got heavier presence over towards drop as well. I like this from the CT side. They're definitely looking like they're trying to counter TyLoo more than anything. And in the early damage, They have managed to lower a couple of players. However, because of this, the T's looking like they may look to gamble back towards the A side. There's only one defender there. It's Nifty with the AWP. Now, he had a pretty good first half. I think everybody on Renegades has started to slow down a little bit. Push will be coming in. Renegades find that first kill. Nifty looking to hold it down to at least slow them out in this position. And the rotation now in thick and fast. The T's, they're running back once again. Nifty finds a second, leaving just Excurate here. But the B-bomb side at least should be open. Only Ustillo to defend it.
And actually they think that everyone's rotated away. Excurate, he's able to get one. Buntet now left 1v3. It all comes down to him. There's 8 seconds left. The bomb's out in the open. He's going to be allowed to get it. Push now comes in, and there should be no way he survives this. Jacob finds him, and that is it. Renegades, they will be winning out the series in a 2-0 fashion. The win over TyLoo here, 16-13 on Cobblestone. Their map pick means that they live to fight another day. They have one more chance tomorrow, Tom, to make it through into the playoffs as they go 2-2. For TyLoo, they're going to go 1-3 down. They are out. They are going home, and it was a fantastic effort from the TyLoo guys. The energy that Excurate brings into this roster, I think, is phenomenal. They have looked threatening here. There's no doubt about it. But Renegades, the stars aligned. The boys were perfect, and there they are. They look happy with themselves. Well, I mean, they kind of look a bit somber, but they're feeling good. You know, they've hit some hard
Just
times.
very, very deep
Nifty.
down.
He's smiling.
No, I think they've got to be a little bit like worried about how close that came in the end, and especially when you consider like the first half where there were so many very, very close rounds that, granted, they won, but if even a few of them had swung the other way, who knows what could have been for TyLoo. Obviously, the first map, can't really say the same. It was a dominating performance coming out from Renegades, but now they do move on. Tougher opponents will be meeting them in the next round, so I do feel like they can't afford to make the same level of, like, well, not mistakes, but even the closeness of it, because there will be players coming up against them who are going to be able to fight back in a similar sort of stance. So Renegades, I do feel like, although they've gone 2-2, they've got that chance. I do feel like they have to up their game, and I think they're all going to have to be firing on all cylinders if they are going to make it through to the playoffs.
If they have a performance like that today, though, I don't think it's an issue. They look threatening. Nifty was on point. His calls were looking good. You had JKS stepping up. Everyone was hitting their mark.
They could get Cloud9, though.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, though. That's where they had...
No,
everybody
definitely
will have to be there. Because even in that second map, you could say, like, Jacob was a little bit quiet. But well, there we go. He was amazing on the first map. Parler's with him. Hand it over to Parler and Jacob.
Congratulations, you guys, have just taken out TyLoo. I mean, for the rest of your team, who've had a chance to play them a few times, what was it like for you? Because I'm not sure how many times you've played them before.
Well, I didn't really know what to expect from them. The other one has played them a lot of times, so they told me a lot. I think we were very comfortable against them, so it went the way we expected it to be.
And so, what's it like, Jacob, now to be playing for Renegades? Firstly, what's the current setup? Are you like standing in for an extended period? Is it like a trial period, so to speak?
I don't think it's a trial period. I have a 6-month contract with them, so I'll play the next tournaments for them for 6 months. And whatever happens after that, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and are you happy with how things are going right now, considering this is your first tournament with them? And that, of course, is quite a big deal, you know, to be coming here, a large tournament, have that pressure with at your first tournament as they're standing. Yeah, absolutely. The first games I was feeling that I was nervous again, like I was feeling when I was younger, starting to attend tournaments. Right now I feel motivated and think it's going great. And what's it like to be competing again at a large LAN like this for you personally? Amazing. I've missed it. I had a rough period, like in personal life and in CS as well, so it feels good to be back. And in general, do you feel that you are fitting in well into the team, both inside and outside of the game? Hell yeah. Yeah, and is it like your role specifically in-game that you think suits these guys, or are they making you play roles that kind of fit around them? Like, maybe you can explain a bit about that. Oh, they told me about my role before I agreed to going there. So I felt like the offer was a way to come back to the scene, and the role will fit me perfectly. So I knew that was a like it was a chance I had to grab, right? And everything fits pretty well, the role and everything.
All right, well, Jacob, final question. You're now 2 for 2 in the tournament. That's correct, right? So the next match for you guys is do or die. You feeling extra pressure right now? How will you approach that final game to be as mentally and in-game prepared as possible?
Same way we prepared for the 2 last days, I would say. I think we are confident, so we feel ready for the next game.
Okay, Jacob, thanks so much. It's a pleasure to see you again, and best of luck with Renegades and to your team over the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I think interesting insight, of course, getting to find out a little bit about his contract. I don't know if I don't know much more about that. I think if he continues to play the way he has, especially like he did on Mirage, I think they would be crazy not to give him another contract.
I imagine the CEO of Renegades is sat there sweating. You know, that we only got him to sign 6. What was wrong with us? But no, he looked fantastic. Nifty as well had a stellar. I mean, that was unreal. That's like one of the sickest shots I've seen. And yeah, I'm glad we got that in there. You know, there was some highlights, some lowlights, and everything in between. That's what you get. But the boys, they look good, Tom. And I'm hoping that we get to see them make it through to the playoffs. You know, I've rallied behind them now.
Do you know what I am happy about, though?
What?
Is that after this game, I never have to hear you say the boys ever again.
That's not true. If you might want to mute me on Twitter over the next few days, Tom. Because let me tell you.
Like 40 times now.
I'm hoping to see them do well here. They have looked really good. I don't think there's any denying it. And everyone kind of thought, you know, like taking Naf out of the roster, who could they possibly get to replace him? And then they bring Jacob in, and a lot of people questioning whether or not he'll live up to the hype. And I think he definitely has. And I think the whole squad has been doing well. There's been it took them a little while to kind of hit their groove. I think we can both agree on that. Like day 1 and 2, they looked shaky. There's no denying it. I think, jet lag played a part, but I also think, from what I'm aware, it's like one of their first lands together. It is their first land with this new roster. So it's always going to be a bit tricky. But since then, things have started to slide into place. The overall kind of teamwork, the big individual plays, it's all culminating together into a pretty deadly team. As for TyLoo, they did look good. I think the change, bringing in Excurate, I think that's definitely rejuvenated this team. The calls seem to make a lot more sense. I got a bit tilted with like the random pushes and like 4v2s in that Cobble game. But ultimately, I do think that's a big upgrade. And I think TyLoo are a team to keep an eye on when we look to the future.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of work to do. But again, they're a team who have also recently brought in a new player. So I think that again, they've surprised us. I think that is the one thing I do like about TyLoo always coming to these tournaments. Is like, okay, they're going to get an easier qualification spot. That's fine. But they never just go out. They never just go 0-3. We sit there just they didn't achieve anything. It's always they come here. We don't expect much. They surprise us. And then they make the tournament a little bit more interesting. So, of course, commiserations to them. Renegades, they are going in to that 2-2 bracket. They've got some tough opponents going in there with them, I imagine. And, well, we do have another game coming up just after the break, which I believe will be Liquid versus Mouse Sports.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join dreamteam.gg today.
Again, Guardian keep making it happen this time. It's the quick scope! This is unreal! Anything is possible. Anything is possible! You still always a